Is Andrew Tate still a hero on the right wing, or is he falling out of favor lately? We got this news that President Trump and his administration were going to be getting involved in interfering with the federal probe against him and his brother Tristan Tate, try and prevent them from getting into criminal trouble, basically, trying to save them, have their backs. There was a lawyer apparently for Andrew Tate getting involved in that. We don't know if it's necessarily due to ideology on President Trump's part, if he's like, oh, I want to save Tate because he's a victim of the left or something like that. But we do know that there are a lot of right-wingers back in 2022, which I think was the year that he really gained notoriety for being super anti-feminist and anti-woke and supposedly telling it like it is and being an alpha male, red pill, bad boy, or whatever terms you want to use. He gained a lot of that notoriety. He had right-wingers saying, oh yeah, you should listen to him. He knows what's up. You have millions of these young men just like, yeah, no, Tate knows what's up, man. He drives cool cars. He gets lots of women. He doesn't settle down. But then subsequent to that, you had a lot of right-wing backlash against what he was promoting. You had leftists obviously calling him out saying, well, this guy is just promoting the idea of being a D-bag and just being a male chauvinist, being a misogynist, being resentful. Some people called him an incel, basically a breeder of incels, that he's cultivating incels in a community. Whereas there were right-wingers who didn't necessarily attack him for promoting inceldom or necessarily toxic red pill ideology, but instead saying, look, you're making people deviate. You're advocating that people deviate too far from the traditional way that you're supposed to live, which is a man is not supposed to go out and have a bunch of sexual partners, have a bunch of romantic conquests of women, and instead find the one person, because monogamy is very special, and get married to them and have kids and get married to them pretty fast too, within a year of meeting. There are some right-wingers who actually say that, which, I happen to think that that's a bit too hasty, but they are generally, more grounded in their belief that, okay, look, no going out and engaging in crazy sexual conquests. You should start a family. You are wrong to be misogynist. They call him out for that stuff. And so he lost a lot of favor on the right for that. So he's proven to be very divisive on the right. I have to wonder though, what Trump and his administration are really doing with trying to get him off the hook, him and Tristan Tate, because it doesn't seem like the type of thing that would be red meat to their base. I don't know how easily swayed is Trump by people in the administration. We have this lawyer who's trying to help him basically, save the Tates from criminal prosecution. And it's like, really? So you're just like, oh yeah, no, we gotta interfere with this. We gotta do this. It doesn't seem like this is a very ideological president. In fact, he's not a very ideological president. He's a guy who just says stuff. He's got fascistic impulses, but is he truly an ideological fascist? We don't know about that, but he's like, oh yeah, no, this guy's saying protect the Tates, so we got to protect the Tates. Maybe he doesn't even know what's going on. Who knows? But it doesn't seem like the type of thing that would be like, oh yeah, let's throw some red meat to my red pill base. I just don't know. I haven't seen right-wingers praising him for doing this. I've only seen progressives criticizing Trump and showing him scorn for trying to help out this pest, this criminal. He and Tristan Tate, both bad men. And there are a bunch of right-wingers who will say the same. I remember there was one dating coach who's pretty red pill, not quite as red pill as Tate, but who was saying, you know what, yeah, karma is gonna come for Andrew and Tristan Tate for what they have done, for their crimes, for what they have done, getting men, basically interested in women who don't even exist, scamming men, just overindulging, basically. They put their hands so far into the cookie jar, and now they finally got caught. And so Tate and his promotion of the excessively consumerist lifestyle pisses off a lot of leftists, and it also pisses off some right-wingers, where it's like obsession with 33 cars, I think is what he said. He boasted about having 33 gas-guzzling cars. He did that to taunt Greta Thunberg on Twitter in 2022. And you might recall that Greta Thunberg absolutely ratioed him in response, basically making fun of him for having a small you-know-what in an email address. Yeah, so that was a bad look for him. It looks like the right is starting to abandon him more and more, and that's a good thing because he says horrendous stuff, and he does horrendous stuff. He says that, oh, women after 26, yeah, they basically lose everything, It's like, geez, that is ridiculously misogynistic and ridiculously stringent. Like, there are 46-year-olds who still look great. What on earth are you talking about, dude? So yeah, it looks like he is falling out of favor really hard with the right. It looks like he is crashing out. him and his weak chin. I'm sorry, I just had to say it. I actually remember a right-wing YouTuber who was kind of a red pillar actually made fun of him for that. They were like, oh, that man has the weakest chin I have ever seen. It's like, you know, the guys who purport to be hardcore alpha males, it's like, yeah, do they always perfectly embody that? We don't know. It seems like it's all just an act. But yeah, you have to wonder how popular this guy actually is with women, or if it's all just an act, you know? Like just, oh yeah, hey guys, you know, I'm a big old tough guy, you know, I attract a bunch of women. I tell it like it is. It's really crazy seeing some of these old interviews with him too from before he got super famous. Like some dating coaches have interviews with him where they're just like, oh yeah, we got this guy named Andrew Tate here, not knowing that he would become a big deal starting in 2022. But yeah, as far as dating coaches go, I mean, he's one of the last people that you should ever listen to. There are other people who are kind of in that red pill community who are at least going to manage to be a little bit more credible than him. There are even people in the black pill community who are a little bit more credible than him. And red pill and black pill both line up pretty strongly with right-wing politics, albeit probably in different ways. I would say black pill probably lines up a little bit more with, you know, the doomer types, people who might hold some super bigoted views. And red pill, you know, yeah, there's a little bit of bigotry, but it's mostly misogyny, where, you know, whereas incel, it's like, oh yeah, those tend to straight up be Nazis, but red pillars tend to be more like, you know, libertarian conservatives, capitalism obsessed conservatives, people who are like, oh yeah, bro, you gotta attract a bunch of women with your cool lifestyle, you gotta buy this super cool car that like attracts all them, and never mind that there's insane interest on that car, and you gotta have a super wicked cool lifestyle and make like 9 figures and smoke a wicked cool cigar, and you gotta optimize your Instagram profile in all these perfect ways. You gotta get these pictures where you have the right ratio of you with a number of women and men, and yeah, you gotta do some pictures of you at the pool, some shirtless pics, and you got to go to the gym 6 hours a day and build some really, really good muscles, and you got to be super like confident and like not reply to her texts for 35 years straight, because that'll make her miss you. And then when you finally reply after 35 years, she'll be like, oh my God, you hate me, but I love you now. Oh, this is so perfect. You know, there are some of these types. I'm not going to start rattling off names, but there are these guys who say, yeah, no, women only want to go out with and sleep with men that they hate and that hate them, and so that's how you win them over. So red pill is incredibly bleak when you get to the most grotesque corners of it. There's some more centrist areas within the red pill that I think are marginally more reasonable, but Andrew Tate falls within the total fringes of the red pill types, and it's good to see that this type of thinking is starting to fall out of favor with the hardcore right wing. Let me know what you think. Is Andrew Tate, you know, falling out of favor with the right himself? Is he still a right-wing hero? Like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is the more the merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.